Welcome to show number 2 of The Pulse. My name's Tom Box, and of course, I am once again joined by my co-host, Cameron Cora, Matt Asadar, and Psych Troglodyte. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hey, hey.
Hello, friend.
Thank you, sir.
All righty, well, we're starting a little late here from what we kind of talked, so let's just go ahead and let's go ahead and get the show kind of going. Matt, I'm going to kind of hand it off to you and let you kind of segue us into our sections.
All righty. Well, first of all, as y'all can see by the prim behind us, we're at the Mustangs field. They kind of had some technical difficulties today. Their land wasn't agreeing with them and kind of returned everything on a restart. So it's kind of a makeshift set that we're at. But we want to thank Marlo and the Mustangs organization for allowing us to be here today. We're also going to have Marlo join us later on in the show and ask her a few questions, as this week will mark the first game for her and her team and the Mustang organization, as well as a lot of other teams as well. Also, we will wrap the show up today with the announcement of who will be the first Pulse Player of the Week and win those illustrious combatant cleats, which we will be handing out on a weekly basis. We created the Pulse group today. We know everything's kind of last minute, but voting has been going on all throughout the day today, and we're currently tied in the fan vote. The way that it's going to go is that all of us here on this panel have a vote, and the fan vote will count for one vote as well. So make sure that you get your votes in, because it would really be kind of terrible for the fan vote to be in a tie, because then, well, we'll just kind of have to figure out what we're going to do then with that point.
Not to correct you a little bit real fast, but that's the combatant player of the week. No, you said that. Or you said the Pulses.
Oh, so. Okay.
Oh, gotta throw our sponsorship.
There you go. Sponsor in there. Sorry.
And Kobe. I was just about to talk about sponsors. Yeah, we're going to offer a couple of sponsorship opportunities. We've been getting with Veronica to work that out as well. So if you do own a business and you would like to become a part of this show, like we have the Combatant Player of the Week, we will also have a Game of the Week and a couple of other segments that we're looking to get sponsorship for as well. Also, because we're at the Mustangs field tonight, we want to let everybody know, every team know, that we would like to go on a tour throughout the entire UFL. So if you are interested in that, please contact any of us up here, me, Cam, Tom, or Psych, and we will get you, and we will release a schedule that will be posted up on the Pulse's Facebook page so that you can follow where we're going to go. And if you would like to join us during the show, you can do that as well. But we're in week 2, gentlemen. We got week 1 out of the way, a lot of good games, and the game of the week ended up being the legitimate game of the week with an ending that I don't think any of us will forget, and we'll talk about that here in a second. But we kicked off the week, the Panthers versus the Packers, and the Panthers took a 58-0 victory there. Any thoughts about that game's performances?
Go ahead, Psych.
Oh, it was fun. I mean, you know, I guess it was a little nerve-wracking, you know, kicking the whole league off. You kind of want to go out there and not drop passes in the end zone, but you know, sometimes people do that, and then they hopefully rebound from it later. But yeah, it was a good game. It was fun. The Packers are a good team. You know, we knew what to expect, and thankfully the guys in charge of us over there had us really well prepared for them.
Absolutely, it was a really good game. I enjoyed watching it. Enjoyed kind of seeing the kickoff go, and you know, to get this football underway. We had some really good performers, you know, during the game. I'm looking at the stats here. You know, Frew quarterbacked it 14 attempts of, you know, with 77 yards. Himself is rushing, but connecting to multiple receivers. Defense is kind of where my heart is, and you know, Cheese, you know, he kind of took me by, you know, he knows right to my heart, was 5 sacks during the entire game. So I mean, he was on fire. The entire team was on fire, and not saying that you know, the Packers weren't on there. They've you know, overall they got quite a bit of number of sacks as well. 5 sacks split up between. I'm sorry, 6 sacks split up between their entire defense. Both teams played a phenomenal game. So I enjoyed watching it. It was a good kickoff, a good start to the UFL season. So, Cam?
Yeah, and I think that's it's a good way to start, and I'm just happy we're starting. First of all, I don't care what game it would have been a good start because we're finally back. But Yeah, no, I think it was pretty much what we expected in the end. But like I said, I'm just happy that it's back.
Absolutely.
I think it set a good tone for the season. The Panthers came out, really established themselves early, and kept the pedal to the metal the entire time up until Syke whiffs in the end zone, and it is an interception is allowed when it should have been a touchdown. But other than that, but Staples Staples was named the player of the game there. And the way the
Absolutely.
player of the week thing kind of works, I had a couple of questions about it on the Facebook group. Is that when you were named a player of the game by the commentators, that makes you eligible to win player of the week. We're not going to go through and dissect and do all this other thing. Whoever the commentators name as the players of the game are those who will be eligible to win the player of the week. So congratulations to Staples, and also his name is in the hat. So if you haven't voted or joined the Pulse group, just search the Pulse on Facebook, and send us an invite and vote there as well. But a really good job, a strong showing by the Panthers, and I expect nothing less out of Syke and the rest of his team going throughout the rest of the season. Now, the second game of the weekend was what we said would be the game of the week, and of course, it definitely was. It was the Titans against the Yellow Jackets, and the Titans come out with a 21-14 win, and a ending that was a bug on the field, but when it happened, me, Tom, just absolutely went crazy. And I know a lot of fans did as well, just watching from the chats. We had a lot of fun with that game. So we'll start with Cam and your thoughts on that game, your thoughts on these two teams, and your thoughts of the end of that game.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to see the game itself. I was out. I wasn't able to see that game while I wasn't home. But I do just want to say before I just hand it off to you, Matt, that I did predict that game for the Titans by a touchdown. So I mean, that's a thing.
Not to strut it at all.
I hate to say that I agreed with you.
Not to be perfectly accurate with that prediction or anything. But.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that I didn't sit here last week and say, I believe that the Titans are going to be kneeling at the end of the game. It's going to bug. And the Yellow Jackets are going to pick up the ball, running in for a touchdown, and we're all going to go crazy. I'm not saying that I called that, but maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. But no, it was a really fun game. And man, we had like 3 sponsors, I think, to get through when the game was over, and none of us can breathe. I mean, we're jumping up and down, we're going crazy. Surprised we didn't get more comments about it after the game was over. But man, what an exciting game! And we talk about the Panthers, their 58-0 win over the Packers, but this 21-14, the slugfest, and that we predicted it to be. Either me and Cam took the Titans, and Tom and Syke took the Yellow Jackets, so they lost on our betting, so they owe us a steak dinner now. But but no, it was a great kickoff, and like we said, if you've never seen football in SL before, that was the game for you to watch. And man, we saw everything from just great clock management, and starting early in the second half, we saw the Titans just start milking the clock, knowing that a 14-point lead it was at the time was going to be plenty with as low scoring as it was. But an excellent game, excuse me, and a good performance by the Titans. This was the toughest game, I think, for us to pick a player of the game, because as the Titans have always been, they're always about, being a group in their group effort. And so it's really hard to pick out that one player that stood out. So kind of whenever that happens, you kind of default back to the quarterback, the man who's calling the shots and who delivered one of the prettier passes that I've seen to Ryden at the end of the first half in the front right corner of the end zone. Just an absolute beautiful strike. But there's a few seconds left. They gave them a 14-point lead, if I'm not mistaken, going into the second half, and proved to be the deciding factor in that game. Tom?
Absolutely. It was definitely a well-picked game to be the game of the week. Phenomenal matchup between the Titans and the Yellow Jackets. I enjoyed every single moment of that game. As you mentioned, especially the end. I mean, who would have? I mean, because it happened. I saw the kneel, and then I don't think anybody was paying attention. But I glance up and I see the ball shoot out. I'm like, wait, I mean, we're just all for a loss of words. So if you guys missed that game, you missed an incredible matchup between these two teams. really enjoyed to watch. Both teams, fighting it back and forth. You had your interceptions. I don't. Did we see too terribly many tumbles? Wow, fumbles. Did we see too terribly many fumbles? Too many T's. Um,
Many tumbles.
I don't know. The Titans had a lot of fumbles, and like if I'm not mistaken, I think this was a game that had a good chunk of fumbles.
yeah,
I may
there was a
be
good bit of possession
be
changes. I
wrong,
do know
but
that.
I think there was a couple of fumbles in there that some that the Titans were able to recover.
Yeah,
But because I think the Titans had the ball and they were up 7-0, and then there was a fumble and the Yellow Jackets turned it around, and that's kind of when the game, you know, the whole momentum shifted kind of back on the Yellow Jacket side right around the second quarter.
yeah, and Syke with his little dance around the ball right there in the end zone to get intercepted on. That
Now,
was
hey,
that was
all right,
beautiful.
time out. Now, look, all right, I've taken that like 3 times. I made other plays in the game.
I mean, we're
God.
gonna ignore the fact you had the first pick six of the season, and I think
Or
you
the
had two on
second
the
one,
Yeah,
right?
second
Or the
one. I
second
mean,
one.
like
none of those matter. Right?
Right. Look, I tell you what. Come back to me at the end of the season, and of 28 starting CBs, you tell me how many of them have 2 pick sixes on the year. All right, on the freaking year. But no,
Okay.
I'm my own worst critic. I have looked over that play. Um, since it happened, I think I gave myself a concussion. I banged my head on the desk whenever I dropped it. It was
well, it's not going to
ugly.
help you catch better.
It
Yeah, it just makes
might
things worse, man.
actually. I mean, it might. I was so mad. I had missed one earlier in the game, and I was I knew better than to go into mouse look, but I was so like I was overcorrecting. Like I'll just be transparent here. On offense, I'm a completely different person. Like I am so uptight. Defense, I'm pretty loose, but I get real uptight in offense because like in defense, my mentality going in is like, that ball's not mine, but I'm going to take it away. So you play fearless because it's not yours to begin with. So everything that you take is a plus. On offense, it's like that's mine, it's mine, it's mine, and oh man, I was trying to correct. I was afraid that I was going to be out of bounds or have gone out of bounds and then came back in. And so I pulled back a step way earlier than I should have, and just completely, like y'all said, danced around the ball. But I have beat myself for that play. You just don't know.
Well, don't try to let it get you down too, man. You had an amazing game. Like I said, the, the first. I mean, we did say, Matt, that it was the first pick six of the entire. Like it was the first. Syke was the first person to get a pick six in the UFL.
You were the
correct?
first person.
Congratulations,
pick
Syke.
six in the league,
Congratulations, man.
and you were the first person to whiff in the end zone and let the other team get an interception in the league. Syke, you will forever be
Right.
remembered.
I would take if I were you. Oh, my mic. If I were you, it's
Wow.
like I would take that. I would take that trade off. I think that's an okay
Yeah.
trade.
Yeah.
I would take the
Yeah,
first
you,
pick
you,
six.
you played a good
No,
game, and the entire
I
Panthers
don't know.
did, but it was
Yeah.
a good job. So talk
So-
about the Titans and Yellow Jackets. Why are we going backwards, guys? Let's go.
My bad.
So,
Well, y'all
Titans
kept
and-
poking me.
Well, hey, we
Um,
play Friday night, so I'm gonna give you a couple.
I was gonna say
just
drop
for you
one.
to talk about.
Drop one. Just drop
I
one.
will
That's
just
all I
for you,
need.
and I am you afterwards to say, Syke, just for you. I should have got it, but it's just for you.
Yeah. So back to the Titans and Yellow Jackets, just an epic game to watch and to commentate. It was a full house in the commentators booth. It was a full house on the fan sim too. Quite a few people out supporting their teams. Both cheer squads out. So I mean, it was a jam packed house. Great game. So, Cam, over to you.
Would be Syke.
My bad.
Yeah.
Syke, over to, well, Syke
I
talked
was-
so much earlier.
I was
Right?
first. I was
was gonna say,
first.
yeah.
Cam's already
Hand-
talked. Tom.
Yeah, I've already talked.
Hand me the mic
Clearly
again.
running
I've
this
said
train
I've
in the
said my
wrong
share of
direction.
things about
No,
this.
that Titans, the Titans and Yellow Jackets game just goes back to everything that we said about that side of the division in last week's show. It started out with the first divisional game of the season being a dogfight, and I believe the last one is going to be an absolute dogfight, and everything in between is just going to be blood, bruises, sweat, and tears. There are I mean, there are no off weeks, for divisional games on that side of the ball. There are no breathers. I mean, everything from start to finish is going to be a gauntlet, and I mean, it's going to be fun for sure, and that game showed every bit of it. You thought for a second earlier in the game that maybe the Titans had a handle on it, and I believe there was a turnover, and it got the Yellow Jackets back in it, and they scored late, and then we think, okay, it's over, and then there's like a 3 and out or maybe a 4 and out. I forget. They get the ball back, drive all the way down the field, first and goal, second goal, third and goal, fourth and goal. They can't convert. Game's over, right? Well, then like the field explodes, and maybe it is, maybe it isn't, and I mean, I can't say enough good things about the overall experience that game was as far as calling it, watching it. Um, if you missed it, I believe it's one of the games that's already been uploaded to YouTube.
Yep,
I
it's up there.
know, yeah. So I think it's still in the Twitch channel too. If you haven't seen it, watch it. That's all I can tell you. Even recorded, that is just an absolute treat. And I promise you'll enjoy it.
Definitely just outstanding. I mean, there's not enough superlatives to put on that game, and it gives a lot for other games to live up to as we head forward. As Cam decides he wants to run.
The running man on the couch.
I apologize.
But that
I'm holding the mic out for you, Psych.
He's
Like,
I dropped my phone on my
around.
on my keyboard and it hit a keybind. I
Michael
apologize.
Slate getting ready to do a kickoff over here. But now then we had the Sunday night game, the Bills against the Cowboys, that Sykes said would be a bloodbath and the largest
blowout,
deficit that we've ever seen in our entire lives. Forever, ever, amen. And Sykes was wrong as the Bills defeated the Cowboys 36-6. The largest deficit of the week actually came in the Panthers game. That's 58-0 over the Packers. But the Bills 36-6 over the Cowboys. I was unable to watch this game. I think Syke, you commentated it, and Puppet was named the player of the game. So Syke, take it over.
Yeah, it was an interesting game to watch. I mean, I don't. The main thing I get, Puppet won it. Primarily, it was on a defensive performance. You'll have to forget that game is still a blur. It was like week. I mean, I think I streamed Saturday, Sunday, and Monday night's game.
Yeah, it was your third streaming.
Yeah, and I hadn't planned on doing it. It was just one of those that I was like, all right, yeah, let me do that so I can get their game up and running. I mean, it was a good, hard-fought game. I'll be honest, I didn't see the Bills' offense that I was expecting to see. I think it's safe to say they had a few other things on their mind. I'll leave it at that and move right along. But they weren't on all cylinders like I was expecting them to be, and I don't believe. I'm just being honest right here. I don't believe that the Cowboys had as much to do with it as the Bills' mental state. That game. But I mean, it was still a convincing win. It wasn't like it was close. I think at the end of the game, I think if you go back and watch it, I think they hit a point where they were like, oh, wow, we're not ahead more than this. And they really tried to turn it on late. And I think at one point in that game, there may have been 4 interceptions in a row. Just, I mean, back. The teams were playing keep away with each other. But yeah, I mean, it was still a good win. They fell a little bit short of my scoring projections. And, who knows? We play the Cowboys in a few weeks. We might have a whole lot of trouble, moving the ball against them too. And I might have to revisit that and think, okay, yeah, the Cowboys did have a lot to do with it. But yeah, it was a good game. I don't think I'd use disappointment anytime you beat somebody by 30. But it wasn't the offense that I was expecting to see from the Bills. No.
And I agree with you saying that about the offense. The score was not what you'd be expecting. I think from an outsider's point of view, you wouldn't. Whoa, I apologize. You wouldn't look. I don't know why that's happening. You wouldn't look at that score and think that it's the end of the game. You'd think that was like a bit to go. So I don't know if it's so much like you said as disappointment from the Bills or stepping up by the Cowboys defense, but. Either way, though, it was a lot closer than I thought it was, and Syke, I was with you in your prediction when you said that it would be the largest score deficit from Week 1. So definitely not what I was expecting score-wise. So we'll have to pay closer attention to both of those teams and see who it was more on Was it more of a stopping or was it more of a slowing down? So we'll have to see moving forward, but definitely not what we were expecting. Go ahead,
You know,
Tom.
I don't 100% remember my prediction for the game. I do know, from watching the Cowboys in the beginning, the Cowboys really kept it onto a running game in the first quarter, and they surprised the Bills right out of the chutes, and was able to get 10, 15 yards here and there, on the Bills defense, but the Bills quickly adjusting to that and turning it, shutting it down. Cowboys struggled a little bit on the offense, trying to get it up the field. They'd get it up far enough and just kind of get stopped back. The 6 points from the Cowboys came from two field goals, two really good field goals, right in the center of the goalpost. So, props to getting the points on the board. And I'm gonna agree with you guys. It wasn't the Bills that I'm used to seeing. I don't know if their mind was elsewhere. Sometimes you go into a game, with the full expectation of just whipping the pants off of a team, and you just get overconfident, and that could have been an issue maybe the Bills were having as well, as they came in expecting just to beat the pants off of the Cowboys, and they just weren't out there. And I do remember them trying to turn it up, and that's when you saw a lot of deep balls, and then the Cowboys went to a lot of deep balls as well, and was just kind of throwing it up, and the Cowboys pushed and pushed, and they did not, they didn't lay down and just take it. They kept fighting, they kept trying, but kind of towards the end, it feels like that just is just resorted just to throwing the ball up in the air. And anytime you do that against a team like the Bills, you're just asking to get intercepted on. But a good show, a good game between the two teams. I really enjoyed. Was really rooting for the Cowboys, especially as they just kept pushing up and getting further up the field. So to get all the way up and put some points on the board, that's really all you can ask for. Out of that, of course, I know you want to get up there and get some more points and get a higher points on the board, and get a touchdown and get in the end zone. But hey, if you make it all that way and kick a field goal, put 3 points on, that's 3 points. So like I said, good game. Would like to see some more out of the Bills, but as we all said, they could have been a distraction, multiple other things. So this is just week one. I'm sure we're going to see the Bills come back strong, and return to what we're used to seeing. Looking forward to seeing what the Cowboys have this year as well. Not to discredit them at all, they put up a good fight. They put up a good game. So look forward to seeing both teams back out on the field.
I think it's really a kind of an example of any team can have an off week. I mean, we joke because Sykes said, "Well, this is going to be the largest point differential of the entire week," and and stuff like that. But you know, we kind of all were expecting it. I mean, it still was a 30-point win, an impressive win regardless. I mean, you
Yes.
expected it to be larger than it was, which says, what for a team and a group of players that we haven't, other than this season, ever really seen play before. That shows you the expectation that that I know they have of themselves, and that kind of the community as a whole has for the Bills this season. And a lot of distractions and a lot of things going on for them, and it shows you that anybody is capable of having an off week. But still, if even in your off week, if you win by 30 points, you know what? Pretty good job. And you're a strong team. So, expect to see the Bills, continue to work forward and build off of this. Because hey, there's plenty of times you play bad, you go away, you're upset about it, but then you look at the score and you go, hey, the best time to make your adjustments after playing, a subpar game up to your standards is after a win. You can step back and go, hey, we did all these things, not so good, but we still were able to win the game. And like we said, Puppet was the nominee, was the player of the game in that, and the nominee for the player of the week. And that voting's still going on. It will go on up until the point that we announce who has won it. So continue to go on there. We still seeing votes kind of trickling in as we're getting down toward the end here. And the final game of the first week was the Patriots against the Cobras. Patriots came away with the win, 49-7, and Tupac was named the player of the game in that one. Psych, you start with this one.
Yes,
started. Okay.
I streamed that one, and from start to finish, I ended up picking Tupac, just because there was not a more um, dominant player on either side of the ball for either team in that game. Um, they didn't really have that much of a difficulty, the Patriots. But overall, it was a real entertaining game. I mean, you saw a lot from both teams. Not really a whole lot of surprises from the Patriots. I think for the most part, they've got a good core, and you kind of know what to expect with them, and they certainly lived up to that. I'm trying to remember the final score. That's one of the ones that we were having stats trouble with, I
49-7.
believe. Okay, yeah, 49-7, and I mean it was a good. We saw a couple of surprise turnovers. Cobras, they struggled to get a little bit going. You could definitely see a little bit of growth from their quarterback as the game went on. He's still got a ways to go. I don't mean that negatively. Just reflecting on the performance. But you did see some things that you could kind of get a little bit excited about and see some positive directions for him. They're gonna have their work cut out for them this season. I don't think anybody is in denial over that, or doesn't believe that. But I saw some things that they can build on, and the Patriots did not let anybody down with their opening performance.
Yeah, I agree, and that score right there is probably a little more than I thought it would be. I think the Patriots played even better than I thought. I did have the Patriots winning that game, probably by 4 touchdowns or something, 4 or 5 maybe, and like they won it by what, 6 touchdowns. So they did even better than I thought. But obviously Tupac, I don't think there was any secret. It's not like he's the Patriots' best kept secret or something going into that game. We all knew. We all talked about Tupac last week. We all knew exactly where they were going to go, and it says something about you when everybody knows that they're going to throw it to you and you still come down with it. It says something about how good you are at receiving and how much of a playmaker he is. And I was impressed with their score. I think they did well, and a really good job by the Patriots for sure in that game. By their defense as well, holding the Cobras to 7.
I think it was the first time for the Cobras actually getting in the end zone at the UFL field. If I'm not mistaken, I think in their last preseason game they forced a safety, and that was their first point. So they were able to get in the end zone. So definitely steps in the right direction there. But yeah, and Syke correctly called this as being the second largest deficit. So Syke had a pretty good weekend on your predictions there. Really only missed one. So, but yeah, a really good showing by the Patriots, and Tupac being named player of the game. That's no surprise. And I caught bits and pieces of it, and every time I turned it on, I always heard Syke saying, "Well, you know, knowing the ball is going to Tupac and stopping Tupac from getting the ball are two completely different things," and he showed that with an impressive performance in that game. So he was the player of the game for that one. Tom, any thoughts on this one?
I actually I missed that game completely. This game that I was able to hand off the reins once everything was going. I was working, so I completely missed that game. So
I appreciate
yep.
saying that. All right, well, that wraps up week one. So, looking back, what stood out to you the most of all the games that you saw, of everything that happened, other than of course being just excited that we're finally back to football that matters and not just preseason games and all this. What do you take away from week one, and what do you hope to see in week two?
I think there's 2 things in particular that stand out to me. One, the matchups in the NFC are going to be so fun. The Titans and the Yellow Jackets is the first of many chapters of that, and they're going to be really good games all year long. Like all those matchups: Panthers, Titans, Titans, Warriors, Titans, Yellow Jackets, Bills, Panthers. All those different combinations are all going to be really good. So looking forward to that. And the second thing that stands out is obviously the Bills score deficit. And not to take anything away from the Bills, it's a 30-point win. Good job. Like that's very good. But like you said, it's you're expecting it to be a little bit more. But it's also the first game, and they're gonna prove otherwise as the season goes on. So this doesn't mean much to them. It shouldn't mean anything to them, and they're really good, and I don't want to take anything away from them whatsoever. But obviously that score stood out quite a bit.
One thing that the biggest thing that I took from this week is the excitement of the league starting. Everybody was out supporting every single team. There wasn't a game that I saw that did not have a full side on the left and right side. With players from other teams out supporting other teams, fans, really everything. Everybody was out there supporting everybody, and it was just really good to see. It was good to see all of that. As Cam says, we've got some really really awesome matchups coming, and I'm looking forward to it. And I think I think the game of the week last week, the Titans versus Yellow Jackets, I think that was a good preview. Honestly, I think the entire week was a good preview of what's to come. But the Titans and Yellow Jackets show that there's multiple teams in this running now that are good teams that are getting out there practicing, training. There's been quite a bit of time between any previous seasons, between the tournament and the start now, and everybody has been doing pickups and scrims, since then, since before then. So, this week one was a huge, huge thing for us, for all the players, the league and the UFL. So it's just a good show to, of what to come, and I hope the attendance in the UFL Twitch chat, and I hope the attendance in World continues to stay the same for everybody supporting everybody through this entire season. It's going to be a really good fight, a really good fight for every single team in the trenches. I'm just looking forward to it. So I think that's my biggest takeaway.
Like,
Well, I've already shared a lot of my takeaways. So let me focus more on what I'm looking forward to in week two, and that will be any game, any game that hits like the Titans and Jackets. I think a couple of them have that potential. As far as the competitiveness and back and forth. I think overall there's really on both sides of the leagues. I mean, I think I'd be kidding myself if I didn't predict y'all as probably the runaway favorite on your side of the division. But I think underneath y'all, there's like a whole lot of parity. So yeah, it's real easy to point over at our division and say, man, these games are going to be hard hitting and everyone's going to be tough and fighting and all this. But there's a whole lot of work going on over on the other side of that ball too. Um, I know the Eagles have made some moves. Recently the Patriots, Patriots have. There's a whole lot of teams that just played the Packers, so I know what they got, and I mean, I don't think the score indicated exactly what they're going to do over the course of the season. So I think there's a lot to look forward to on both divisions, and I think this week really, I believe the best matchups are going to be on y'all side of the division. So it's a lot to look forward to this weekend, and that's mostly what I've got to share.
yeah, I think like everyone said, last weekend, definitely a great start for the league. Came out with a bang. Titans and Yellow Jackets, of course, setting the table, and like Cam said, I think you look over to to the NFC, and man, that's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to see who can come out on top. It's going to be fun to see who can come away with those 4 playoff spots in that division, because it's so tight up at the top. And, the Titans separating themselves early on in week one, getting that win over the Yellow Jackets, 1-0 overall, as well as 1-0 in the conference, and just setting the tone right for their season. I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of the teams that we didn't get a chance to see this past week. This next weekend, after next weekend, every team in the UFL will have played their first game. And the Mustangs, whose field we're at, will be one of those. And we'll ask Marlo if she'll come up here and join us. We'll spend a little bit of time with her and kind of have her hang around with us here to the end of the show as we kind of look forward um, to what week 2 is going to bring. And we'll run down the schedule real quick, and then we'll give our what we say is going to be the game of the week, and then we'll visit with Marlo a little bit. But Friday, February the 27th, the Yellow Jackets will be visiting. We'll be playing against the Dolphins. Then Saturday will be our first doubleheader. The early game will be at 4 p.m. SLT, and the late game will be at 7. The Mustangs and the Eagles will be kicking it off at 4, and the Packers and the Patriots will be kicking it off at 7. Sunday, March 1st, the Warriors against the Bulldogs. And then Monday, the March 2nd game, the Bills against the Falcons, has been moved to the end of the season. So a little schedule change there. So we were kind of talking about what do you think is going to be the game of the week? Looking at this weekend's slate of games, you have the Yellow Jackets against the Dolphins, Mustangs, Eagles, Packers, Patriots, Warriors, and Bulldogs. And Tom, who do you think is going to be the game of the week?
I haven't played them before, and just as a kind of preamble to this, when we're on the show, we try not to represent our teams or try not to do anything like that to show any type of bias, because due to that and things like that. But I'm going to put my hat on the Yellow Jackets versus the Dolphins, and I think I can say that because I actually won't be at this game. Sadly, I'm going to miss our first game, but I'm going to put my vote for that one.
I spoke to the other guys as well, and the Pulse game of the week this upcoming week will be the Yellow Jackets against the Dolphins. And as Tom said, when we talk about games or we pick things, there's not to be any bias in it. But I think I'm excited about that game, seeing the effort of the Yellow Jackets last week, and it being our first game as well. I think it's going to be a great matchup, and definitely one to watch. But we have Marlo with us. Eden Flower Piers. I don't know how many last names you have now, because every time I see you,
Right.
It changes.
you kind of keep adding.
Eden Flower Piers. That's all.
Okay.
Good.
All right, we'll get some more in there probably by the end of the week. But thank you, first of all, for being the first site for the Pulse live on location. So we appreciate that. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Welcome, Marlo.
Okay,
Hello,
Marlo.
friend.
You told me. Marlo gave me a specific request whenever I asked her if I would bring her on the show. She said, "Matt, just don't ask me anything that I'm gonna go about." So I'm gonna try to keep it, and we'll all ask a few questions and then move on into our week 2, and we'll have you kind of hang out with us and give some of your predictions as well. I know you're not excited about that, but you're gonna do it anyways. Okay.
You're sitting on the seat too.
Marlo, you are this Saturday. You face off against the Eagles. So
We do.
tell me a little bit of the emotions that's going through. Not only will this be the first game for your organization, but this will be your first official UFL, regular season game quarterback. And kind of walk us through your mindset. How is your team feeling in the week leading up to this game?
Well, we haven't played the Eagles in quite a while, so I mean, a lot of changes have been made since we have played them. I am so excited to start the season, so terribly excited. My team is excited. We are ready to go. Our roster is good and solid, and we have a lot of good people, and we've had people from day one who are still with us. And if anybody knows, like, when they talk to me, I am so super passionate about my team, and I genuinely love all of my players. And to see them all come together and everybody meshing so well, and the growth that everybody has had, singly and with each other, is tremendous. So I am so excited to start the season.
Yeah,
What
any
about-
questions?
What about nerve levels? How you feeling on? You nervous? You nervous
Well,
yet, or is that going
we'll
to be
talk about
before
it
game?
Because I'm so nervous.
You're nervous?
Yeah, I'm so nervous. Yeah, the nerve level is to the extreme, but I kind of feel like that plays to an advantage, because you can just use that momentum and keep going into the game. And you can only go up. So
They'll go away if it makes you feel better. They'll go away after a couple drives.
yeah,
You'll go out there. You'll be you'll be pretty nervous for a couple drives, and then you'll just realize hey,
Yeah, so
it's
if you
just a
see
scrim
me,
with some people watching. That's all it is.
right, yeah, with a bunch of people watching.
Yeah.
So I mean, like if you see me throw it in the dirt, yeah, that's probably my hands shaking.
We won't say that on stream when it does happen, though.
Yeah,
We won't be like, oh, Marlo just stroked out for a moment.
Let
you
me
know?
let me go ahead and call BS on that, Marlo. Anything they tell you that they're not gonna do,
yeah.
they will do in spades.
Well,
Like
yeah,
we told you
yeah.
we were
Well, it's
gonna.
like we
told
told you we were gonna
yeah,
talk about
you
you.
knew it was coming.
So, and I know that you're gonna. I'm pretty sure, with it, of course, being our game of the week, that you're probably going to be commentating and probably streaming our game. I'm pretty sure you're going to have. So you won't be able to pick at Tom because he's not even going to be there.
Oh
Right.
no!
He's
Don't rub it in.
You know,
I just want to
but-
point out, it's like I wasn't there saying nothing during your
I hear
game.
you. No,
So.
you called me dropping 4 interceptions. So
How
He
many
got
did you
one out-
drop?
He got 1 out of 4 right.
I didn't.
mean,
I didn't drop any interceptions.
No, you're right. You're right. You
no,
just
I was-
He
All
just
right.
dropped
the catch.
receptions.
All right, so
Yeah.
All right.
you can predict me throwing 19 interceptions then.
Yes. All right.
Well,
Back to Marlo.
Yeah, Tom, anything.
I mean, as you said, Marlo, you have, and as Matt has said as well, you guys, it's a new organization. You've just now taken the reins of quarterback. I just had a brain.
Well said, Tom.
conniption. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
I thought I cut out. I thought I lagged. I was like, well, there goes the stream.
Yeah.
That's that.
No, I just went cross-eyed looking at the screen, going,
I was
no clue where
checking-
I was going.
Yeah, I was checking the batteries in my cordless
His
headset. I was like,
headless-
oh crap.
Freak out.
They
It's
just died.
headless.
All right, wow. Tom cleans up his brain fart.
Well,
Jesus.
it's a tough position to be in, especially just with a brand new team coming into a brand new organization coming into the league. But not only that, you're brand new organization, and then just now taking the reins over as a quarterback, just stepping up into that position. And my hat's off to you. I've tried quarterbacking.
Yeah, he has.
I'm gonna stick to. I'm gonna
If
stick
that's
to
what you
Thank
call quarterback.
I'm going to stick to protecting this man over here named Cameron Cora. I feel like I do that pretty well. So I'm going to stick to that, let him throw the ball, because I throw it up in the air, and I throw it in the direction of a receiver that I know will catch, and he catches, and I feel great about myself. But then I realize that, well, yeah, that's why. So I guess my biggest question to you is, you've some people have come in, you've had some people work with your team, and I personally have seen a drastic change in your players, and it has been an amazing thing to watch and amazing thing to be a part of. So thank you for letting me help out, and letting the a couple of us come in and things like that. What would you say that your biggest changes in you coming from preseason to now?
I think I'm more relaxed. And you know what? See, the thing is, I'm not afraid to ask for help because I don't want to just kind of run around, and which I was doing. I mean, I had no clue what I was doing. I didn't quarterback before. I'd never played before. So I wasn't afraid to ask for help to see where I could grow because you're not going to know and you're not going to learn unless you ask. So from, preseason to now, what has changed? I'm more relaxed at it. I can take more time. I'm better at scanning where I need to throw and see where where I can go and stuff like that. So I think biggest change in me was probably being more relaxed with it.
And for everybody else that was in the position you were in, maybe there's other quarterbacks around the league that are very nervous. Like you said, they might not know what they're doing, like how you felt.
Mhm.
What advice do you have for them to getting relaxed now that you've
Reach out.
kind of started to get into that point?
Just reach out and ask for help. I have a tremendous support system, not only on my team but throughout the league, and just knowing that that's there, and knowing that there are people in your corner and who believe in you. Confidence goes a long way. So if you have people totally cheering you on and saying, you know what, you're good and you can do this, absolutely reach out, talk to people, just voice your concerns, ask for help, because there are people out there who will help you.
I get that pep talk every day from Cam, so I know what you mean.
But I
If you
mean,
could
oh,
try
sorry, go ahead.
if you could travel back in time, however many months it's been, and you could talk to Marlo on the day one when she's filling out paperwork or calling somebody or bribing some whatever you have to do to like start a team.
Right.
What would be the one thing that you would tell her about the journey from there to this point? Like, what's been
Girl,
the
you're crazy. Seriously, okay, so I need to I gotta kind of backdate it a little bit. So it started as a joke, like we weren't even really gonna start a team. I was actually having lunch with Ashlyn Carver, in Louisville. We were having lunch, and we were like, you know what? There's no league. Let's just start a team. And it was seriously a joke. But could I go back to myself then and say, you know what? You're gonna start a team. Not only are you going to be a brand new rookie owner, but you're going to all of a sudden get everything handed to you, and you're going to have to be a rookie quarterback. I would tell myself, breathe, because it's going to be okay. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and there are going to be people there every step of the way to help you.
awesome? That's good stuff. Um, what do you see right now as the biggest, I guess, challenge from, maybe moving your team from, the hot new kid on the block to, contender? Is this something that, that is it a 1 year project type thing, or are you planning on, this being a, a permanent fixture in the league?
Oh no, we're here to stay. The Mustangs are
Awesome.
here to stay for sure. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. We're
Good
here to
deal.
stay.
And you start your season off Saturday, 4 p.m. against the Eagles. So
Hmm.
after that game's all said and done, other than of course coming away with a win, what what do you want people in this league to see and to know about your team?
I think some people kind of underestimate us a little bit. We have a lot of rookies on our team. Um, I want people to see, we can do this. They may say that we're the underdog or whatever, but no, the Mustangs are here, and we have something to prove, and we're gonna prove it.
Arlo throwing blows. I like
I
it.
know.
The
Right?
I like
haymaker right there at the
setting
end.
the freaking tone so when we come to everyone else's field and we bring you up here, we want interviews like that. That was good stuff.
Right.
But an excellent weekend, Marlo. You're going to hang out with us because you're going to predict next week's games too.
Oh gosh.
We
Okay.
might give you a break on yours though, because you know. But we'll start off Friday, February the 27th. That is tomorrow or today if you're on the East Coast because it's after 12 o'clock. The Yellow Jackets will be facing off against the Dolphins. So, psych. You're probably going to be commentating this? What do you expect to see?
Um, I expect to see a few first day jitters from the Dolphins. I expect to see a team that's looking to, I guess, maybe build on their performance last week in the Yellow Jackets. Um, you're looking at a team that's probably had as difficult of a 2 week run as you could have possibly imagined. In virtual football. Yeah, sure, go play the Titans and then the Dolphins. Have fun with that. You know, so I think overall, I think that you're going to see two teams that definitely need to that want to win. Jackets, maybe the deck's a little bit stacked against you, but I mean, you can't open the season 0-2. You can't. So you're going to see a little bit of a desperation, I think, from the Jackets, even though it's this early in the season. And I think you're going to see you guys, doing what you do and doing it really well. And it's just going to be one of those epic confrontations. I believe that you're right. I've penciled myself in on Friday evening to stream and commentate that one. I believe that I need help unless Tom was accurate in signing up to commentate that game with me. I'm not sure, but his name's in the commentator box with mine.
I'm
But
not exactly sure why it's there. It said I signed up back in January for that game, and the schedule wasn't even out. So,
the
yeah,
that's dedication right there. But
I'm gonna commentate from the road.
yeah, but so there is room if you try to commentate on that and it says it's full because there's me and Tom there. Just let me know, and we'll make sure that you get in to help.
I'm taking
So
my
yeah, we
reins
can.
already.
I'm just doing what I can, man. I'm doing what I can. Because I didn't think it'd do much good to let you know between now and tomorrow night if you're not going to be there. So yeah, there is still a commentating open in that. Y'all don't want to hear me doing monotone. I'll read Shakespeare in between plays or something. So y'all don't want that. Somebody come help me for sure. But yeah, that's what I'm expecting from both of the games to kind of get back on track. I'm expecting a little bit of desperation from the Yellow Jackets, and I'm expecting a a confident start, I guess, to the season from the Dolphins.
Prediction score wise or winner?
It's tough to say score wise, but I'm gonna say Titans by or not Titans. They're not even in the game. I'm gonna say Dolphins by 20.
All right, Marlo, you're the only other non-Dolphin here, so you get to talk
Oh
about this
gosh.
game.
Okay. But is that kind of fair? Okay. So I don't know. Because I have a soft spot for the Yellow Jackets a little bit because they helped us out at first, but the Dolphins, they're my doll friends, so I kind
Oh
of
wow.
I'm kind of
Well, you
biased.
just completely
I know.
just
I'm like
ruined the
super
whole
biased.
show,
I'm
Marlo.
Trademark that. Throw it on a shirt. Somebody,
said the
please.
whole
Doll
show.
friends.
Doll
doll
friends.
friends. I mean,
Doll
I can't.
friends.
I have no. The Yellow Jackets. They're a good team, and they are they're a team to watch. I think, but
Just doesn't ring like doll friends.
doll friends.
The Yellow Friends.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. You guys have lost a little bit of your edge. I'm never gonna think of y'all the same way after hearing
Well, I mean,
Dolphins.
you're gonna think of a fish as fierce anyway. I mean, if that.
Yeah,
if
do you
that's
ever
the
look at a
case-
dolphin and get
Have you ever
intimidated,
looked at
psych?
it?
Something we don't
Um,
know about you, like Kevin Hart or something? Scared of dolphins?
No. Sharks with freaking laser beams, maybe, or
There you
angry
go.
sea bass, maybe. But yeah, no, not the dolphin.
Yeah, no. It like we said, it is what is going to be the Pulse game of the week. Syke will be on commentary. If you'd like to join him, hey Marley, you might want to join him. Please hit him up. It's going to be a great game. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the matchup. Watching the Titans and them last week really kind of set the edge for that game. I think it's going to be a great showdown, and just I'm excited and happy to be back out on the field. Cam, any quick thoughts about our game before we move on?
I was hoping you'd forget I was here, and you wouldn't ask me that. But since you
I
did,
said something, so
I'm not going to make any predictions.
No, I'm not either.
Anything like that. I don't think it's my place to be making predictions. I don't really want to at all. But I will say, just good luck to the Yellow Jackets. I have a tremendous amount of respect for a lot of their players. I played with a lot of them on the Ravens in CFL season 1. Was that 1? That was 1, right?
Yeah.
First season, yeah. And they kind of took me in there, and it's like I have respect for a lot of their players, and they're a really good team, and I don't think anybody's counting them out from anything. I think it would be stupid to. So I'm not going to make any predictions, but just wish them luck, and I hope you guys have a great game, and we'll see you tomorrow.
You're not going to be there. Any thoughts before we move on?
I think it'll be a good game. Looking forward to it. I'm going to try and listen my best during my drive to to listen to the game and see how it's going. So my ears will be on psych. I'll be listening.
No pressure there at all.
No pressure. I don't really have much on it. Just good luck to both teams. My team, the Dolphins, and good luck to Yellow Jackets. It's going to be a good matchup. Again, I'm really really bummed out that I'm missing it.
All right, then we go into Saturday, the first part of the doubleheader, starting at 4. It will be the Mustangs against the Eagles, and this will be both teams' first game of the UFL season. So, Syke, thoughts about this game?
This one outside of getting you guys is actually one of my more intriguing matchups. I've got I'm a longtime friend, with the owner over at the Eagles. Actually helped found Edge City, so there's always going to be a fondness there. And then I'm really good friends with Marlowe and several of the Mustangs as well, so it's kind of tough to call it. But I think this is going to be. I'll be honest with you, just looking at the schedule, I believe that this is going to be the closest game of the weekend. Whenever it comes right down to it. So having said that, obviously I feel like it's going to be less than 20 that I picked you guys to win over the Jackets. So I mean, I think it's going to be a good game. I think that I think if people don't get a chance to watch it, they're going to regret it. Just because I think it's going to be a nice, fun, and competitive football game. the Eagles have done almost a complete overhaul, of their roster. They've moved around a lot of pieces. I know Eric and a couple others are still there from last season, but there's a whole lot of new faces. Obviously, everybody over here at the Mustangs is wearing a Mustang tag for the first time. So I think that both teams are going to look to develop chemistry on the field, in a true competitive, this one goes in the record books type way. Uh, I think it's going to be an interesting to watch. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it a lot. I'm gonna say that the Eagles are gonna pull it out by 7. If I have to, when I'm picking it, but it certainly would not surprise me at all to see the Mustangs come out on top.
Tom?
I'm just gonna start off. I'm just gonna throw my prediction out there. I'm gonna say the Mustangs up 21. They're gonna win by a 21-point spread. I've seen Marlo. I've seen what she's been doing. I've worked with the line, worked with the defense. We've put some time in, and I've been able to sit back now and actually watch. And it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be brutal. I think the Mustangs defense is gonna come out there and they're going to put it down on the Eagles, and then Marlo's gonna take the snaps, and it's just gonna be like clockwork. So I'm gonna put them up 21 points, and I think it's gonna be a really, really good game. I really look forward to it. I'm pretty sure I'll be commentating both games, so I'll be there watching it, and
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good one as well. And I think the Mustangs will come out with a win, not by 21. I think it'll be more kind of like how Sykes said, but just the other way. I think it'll be like a 7, maybe 14 points. Personally seeing the Mustangs and the strides that they have made, the overhaul that the Eagles have had to go through, and not seeing them in a very, very long time makes it hard for me to predict what they're able to do, which is good for them. They're going to kind of come in flying under the radar a little bit from the last time that were actually able to get our eyes on them. So I think the Mustangs come away, 7 or 14 points, and kick their organization off right with a much needed win and a very tough NFC. So anytime that you're able to get a win, man, you just that's gonna. Every time I look over there, that banner with all those names, I'm just like, my goodness, that's that's gonna be a tough ride for all the teams over there.
Well, I'll start off by saying I'm going to pick the Mustangs by 3. I don't think either one of these teams are going to be the one that's going to dominate the other or anything like that. I don't think there's going to be a 21-point win for either side. It's pretty much a coin toss almost. But like you said, we've seen a lot of improvements from the Mustangs. They're really excited. I think they have the determination edge. They're very determined to get their first win. It's their first game ever. So, the Eagles have been here. So the determination might not be as high. So I think the Mustangs have that determination edge. And apparently I'm the only one that remembered bold predictions for the week. So I'll go ahead and make mine. And that is my man Dre Courts with 3 touchdowns and player of the game. If any of you guys want your bold predictions.
Ooh, you're right. I had not come up with one yet. All right, I'm gonna throw the pressure back on you. I'm gonna say Cam Cora 3 interceptions.
Bold predictions. Cam of 3 interceptions.
That's pretty bold, right? I don't think he had 3 all of last season, did he?
Well, last season was like 3 games.
Well, all right, that's true.
It's like Cam was like, it was CFL season 1, right? I'm like, well, it wasn't really a second one.
Three's a lot. I mean, he said bold was I was going to drop 4, so I mean, him throwing 3.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Tom, your bold prediction. I have to actually think about this for a second.
Now, is this just for the game of the?
I was talking about for this current game.
Oh,
Sykes over here, he just wants to throw me under the bus for what I said last week.
Right.
He's like, you know what? If we're doing bold predictions, let me get you back real quick.
Right,
so I was talking about this game. I didn't want to make bold predictions for my own game, so I was waiting for this game. But if you want to make your bold prediction for this game as well, Sykes, go for it.
My bad.
You had to go back and throw me under there real quick.
All right, Marlo, real quick, give me your wide receiver core.
Wide receiver Dre Courts.
All right.
Kai, Max, Mikey Ramsey, and Greg Stella.
Okay, I'm going to say Greg's going to be your first touchdown pass of your career. That's not bold, but it's.
That's not
I
too
don't know.
bold. That's
That's
just
not too bold, Syke. I think you need some. You need to be
I know.
innovative here with this.
Well, I mean, I'm the only one that came into the Mustang Stadium and picked the other team. I thought that was kind of bold.
It's kind of ballsy there.
And I'm over here
Especially
sitting.
because there's like
beside
7
Right, I
of
was
them
gonna
sitting out
say-
here with freaking
I mean, he's sitting right
pitchforks and
beside me.
torches.
I'm sitting right beside, you
Okay,
know.
well here, let me make it a little bit easier for you. Kai and Dre will not be playing their first game because.
Oh, well, then my
they
bold
said-
prediction
your
is
bold
meaningless.
prediction.
Oh, so I'll see your bold prediction and raise you one. There you go.
There you go.
Hey, right now.
So
You know,
we
Marlo,
will
before I
have-
made my bold prediction, you could have given me that information, so I didn't look like a complete and total idiot.
I'm sorry. I wasn't even
I'll
thinking
switch it
about
back to Greg
So
Stella then
we'll
with
have
2
Karen.
and player of the
Karen
game.
will be on-
All right.
Yeah, I might have to
Karen
knock my
Winlow
point
will be
margin
on the
down.
receiving.
Okay. I'm going to switch mine to Greg getting 2 touchdowns and player
I'm
of the
going to say
game.
that
Then.
Marlo has more touchdowns rushing than she does passing. Okay. That may not be
I see you.
bold.
No, that's pretty
Yeah.
bold. She likes to
Yeah,
pass.
that's-
That's
that's
pretty
bold.
bold.
But I know
QB,
Marlo
yeah.
likes to throw.
Yeah,
but
she
I'm
likes to throw. That's
challenging
bold.
her
I can
this week
appreciate that.
to
Go
run
ahead,
the
Syke.
ball.
Back to you for take 2 here.
Oh, well, I mean, so all right. Let's see.
What, you said Greg
My-
would be your first, right?
All right,
That's
my
pretty bold.
bold prediction is that one of, and I'm not sure which. I'm just getting this otherworldly, vibe now. That one of the
Worldly.
defenses of the 2 teams will outscore the offense.
Which one, though?
I just
Which
said I
team?
wasn't going to tell you
You are-
which.
Well, that's not bold. Well, what?
That's
is
him saying
bold?
it's the Eagles.
That is bold. No,
'Cause he's
it's
on the
not.
Mustangs
I'm
No,
gonna make a
field.
bold prediction.
No.
2 teams are gonna play.
Wow.
Psych prediction. That's like
At the end of the
Wow.
game, one team will have more points than
Wow.
the other team, and the clock's going to be at 0.
All right, John Madden.
Wow.
We got
Man,
you, Syke.
I get no love on this.
We love you. We appreciate you very much,
We
Syke.
appreciate your attempt at being bold, but ending up just sounding stupid.
Right, my bad. God. But look, at least I'm not picking players to overperform that are even not in the game. I mean, you
Oh,
gotta
that's
give me
true.
that one.
That's true.
No, that's true, but no. All right,
didn't
Syke.
know.
Psych,
All
you
right,
want to
Syke.
try this one more time?
Really? You're right back to me? I mean, that's just like keep me.
Well,
all
you
right.
have yet to really, give us anything.
Let's give him a moment to come up with his boldness.
Say
to
the
find
Mustangs,
his-
like,
All right.
so one of them breaks a leg or something. Like, just come up
Yeah.
with something bold.
Mustang, Marlo will get out there and her head will fall off. That'd be better than,
Which
All right.
very well could happen with my nerves. I mean, I might have a stroke. I could have a seizure.
Guess someone's
Marlo poops
cleat
her
color or
pants
something. I
halfway
don't
through
know.
The third
Well,
quarter. That's the thing.
We're not going to go there. Thank
I
you.
mean,
Gosh.
so
Oh man. I don't know. I've already used. I've used everything that I thought of about boldness on this game. Y'all come back to me on this. I don't know.
All right, go
we're
ahead, Tom.
done. We're going
Go
to
ahead,
the
Tom.
next game after
No,
this.
you got to go to me. You haven't come to me
Yeah,
yet.
Tom.
Oh,
Tom.
okay.
Tom needs his
God,
spotlight.
Forget about already.
The
Tom
real
needs
MVP is on. Go ahead,
Good
Tom.
luck, Great job.
I'm gonna go to the other side of the ball with the Mustangs. I've been watching this defense work and things like that, and I believe he plays right outside defensive end, Ace. I think Ace is gonna come up with at least 6 sacks during this game, and
Jesus.
just
That is bold.
That's
demolish,
bold.
That's bold,
And just-
Syke.
Some
Take
teams
notes.
And
Don't
just
even get six.
demolish the Eagles.
Whoa. Ace, you better listen to that.
Right.
Calling
The
you out.
man with the golden hair.
Ace, you have a
Like-
lot of pressure on those luscious
He's
locks
got
now.
the golden locks.
He's got
Blessed
the
locks
he's
of
got the
love over
golden
there,
locks,
freaking
man.
just-
Like he's got better hair than 99% women I see in Second Life. Like the man's hair, I just want to touch
I
it.
made Jinx go get that hair. Just so you guys know.
Like the only person I could see pulling that hair off is Blaze Vela.
Well, it's because
But I don't
he's
think
tried.
V will let that happen.
Oh, V
But
doesn't let it.
that's my bold prediction.
Okay,
Ace is
that's
gonna
a
come
lot.
out with
That's
with
the boldest,
6
I think.
sacks. per
That's
game.
bold.
That's pretty bold. I mean, I think like one team only had like 4 in one game or something last week. So that's
I got to
that's
make
good.
up for the lack of boldness from Psych.
Yeah. All right, Psych, go.
All right, go. Jeez. All right. Marlo's gonna throw a touchdown that is a pass. Hang on. That is fumbled by her receiver, and she's gonna pick it up and run it in.
Okay, I'll
All right.
take it.
All right.
It's
Oh,
not too terribly
fumble.
bold, but it's
know
better
what?
than the
You
other
know what,
ones.
Tom?
It's better
I'm
than
gonna
the other ones.
I'm gonna wrest something and throw it at you in just a minute.
Just because I've seen it in our last 2 scrims, someone's going to intercept the ball in the end zone, fumble it out the
Fumble
back
it.
for a safety. So it's going to be 2 points in the ball to the offense.
Or someone's gonna kneel it and it's gonna turn into it.
It's going to be weird. Okay, but anyways, we've hung up on that game long enough. We need to move on. Packers against the Patriots. Cam.
Packers Patriots. I'm gonna take the Patriots in this game. I think that they're just all around. I'm not going to say dominant. I don't think they're going to dominate them, but I will say that I think all around they are a better team. They're more balanced. I think that they have multiple ways to beat you, and one that really beats you. And I think that their defense is strong enough to stop. Jared on the Packers, he likes to run, but he's not afraid to throw. He's going to look to run first. Once if that gets shut down, he's going to start giving it the old heave ho out there. Just letting it fly. But I think the Patriots win this game by I'm going to say 17, maybe 21. And my bold prediction for that game is Tupac alone has more touchdowns than the Packers combined. That's pretty bold.
Okay.
That is yeah. Okay. I'm liking it.
Go ahead, Matt.
I think the Patriots will win. I think they'll be able to exploit the Packers a lot in the same ways that the Panthers were able to. Maybe not to the level that the Panthers were able to exploit the Packers as far as kind of being able to attack their secondary. And plus, I mean, when they have one of the more individually dominant receivers in the league in Tupac, it's kind of hard to kind of figure out a way to really stop him. If he's got that deep ball going and he catches that first when it's going to be a long day for the other team, I think the Patriots come out on top in that game. Tom?
A bold prediction, Matt?
Oh, yep.
Oh, sorry. Bold prediction. I predict that, let's see. Predict that Tupac will have 3 touchdowns receiving in that game. I didn't hear your bold prediction, Kim. I hope I didn't just steal it.
It was similar. It was
What'd
similar.
you say?
I said Tupac will have more touchdowns individually than the Packers will combined.
Score?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that too. But I think, okay, well, then I'll go, I say 2. Well, okay, yeah, I'm going to stay with mine. Tupac will have 3 touchdowns.
Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with the Patriots as well. I think it's going to be a really good game. I think we're going to see a decent margin between the two, and that's going to be my bold prediction, is that we see at least a 30-point spread between the Patriots and the Packers, with the Packers coming on top with with the Patriots coming on top with the win.
Any bold predictions?
I just said my bold prediction. 30.
Oh, that was the 30. Okay, I thought that was just your prediction in general.
No.
Okay.
I see him coming at least a 2 touchdown, but I really think that the quarterback, and I think he's going to be able to. I cannot think today. Words are just hard. I think he's going to be able to connect well and get down the field multiple times. At least 30 to 40 point spread. I see it coming.
Okay, go ahead, Zach.
Yeah, I've learned learned the lesson about trying to predict what the biggest point spread of the week is going to be. So I'm going to say Patriots comfortably. The bold prediction for this game, though, is it's going to be the second scoreless outing in a row from the Packers.
Ooh.
I like that. That's good, Zach. You definitely made up for the last game.
I was going to say,
agree.
It's like when you drop
That's
a ball
good.
in the end zone, you have to go do a pick six next. You got to step it up when you.
No, that was good.
Yeah, there you go.
That was good.
doesn't like having friends on certain teams, I think.
He doesn't.
What
You know,
about
at
you got
some
any?
point, look, this
game.
is bold prediction, all right?
We're
At
at the
some
Mustangs
point,
field, and he's lost all friends here.
at some point, I'll make every team out there mad this season. I'm just telling you.
It's gonna
And I
happen.
don't
We're
mean anything.
commentators. It's
Yeah, I
gonna
don't mean anything personally by it, but I'm gonna tell you my honest opinion on something, and sometimes people don't like hearing
I'm
an
already
opinion.
mad at you for your
It's
last
like we
bold
already
prediction.
don't like you. So.
Well,
I love
Any
you,
thoughts
Syke.
about this game?
Thank you, Cam.
Do you have anything to say, Marlo, about the game?
I'm gonna go with Patriots. The Packers have some new people as well, and they're still learning, and they like to have fun in there. I don't think they're gonna be too bad. I don't think they're gonna do too terribly bad. But if the ball can get to Tupac, there's no doubt about it that they're gonna put the points up.
And that'll take us into the Sunday's game, which will be the Warriors against the Bulldogs. Also, just want to throw a quick little thing out there. If you have any questions you'd like to ask us, put them in the Twitch stream. I haven't really been following it. I don't know if anyone's been doing that, and we will pick
I'm
a couple
following.
of questions.
We haven't got any questions yet, but
Okay.
yeah, they're active.
And if you guys aren't familiar with Twitch.tv, obviously you're familiar enough to be on here. But if you're not too familiar with it, if you look on the bottom left of your screen, there's a sign up button. It's really easy. Just pick a username, password, email. I don't even think you have to confirm it. If I'm not mistaken, you don't have to confirm your email. It's a really quick setup, and then you can just type in the chat and ask your questions there, and we'll get to you at the end of the show.
We want to answer
40
all of
viewers
them.
this week, by the way. I'm not sure what we were running last week, but it's up to 40 right now.
Yeah. We've had a really good
50
crew.
mark, yeah.
Yeah, thanks everybody
Right.
who's watching. But we still have 2 more games to go, and then the player of the week, which I know everyone's watching in anticipation for that. Okay, the Warriors against the Bulldogs. Tom, you can start us off.
Oh man, I haven't seen a lot of the two teams. I've seen I've seen some out of the Bulldogs, and just on that, I think we're gonna see a pretty good matchup between the two teams. I think they're gonna be, because if I'm not mistaken, the Warriors have gone through some changes. If they've got a pretty new roster. You guys can correct me right now on that one, because I'm drawing a blank right now with them.
I can tell you they've made a few changes recently. They started out some guys going down their roster, players that are returning from last year, and this is speaking from experience. Sikakiri's back. He will be their most likely number 1 wide receiver. Kat Wilder is back. She is a weapon on the line. I believe is where she is playing right now. She's played CB as well. Outside of that, it is Cal, and that's the only 3 players that they bring back from last year. Now they do bring a lot of experience from different players. They got B-Shill, Blackheart Taurus has played around in the league. Bert can kick really well. I mean, that's not all he does, but
that's your professional analysis on Bert. He can kick.
He does. He does.
No, he definitely can kick. He can kick.
They've picked up Zany recently after he was released from the Bills. He won't be available for this one, but yeah, I mean they've got experience. Kobe, Uinagwa, he's out there. I'm Drake. I mean Gucci, their quarterback, Jeezy. I mean they've got who's who of players that have been around this league and know how to play. But they haven't played on the field together yet in a game that counts. So that's one of the things that they're going to have to figure out as they get rolling.
All right. Well, I mean, with that, it kind of clicked when you said Cat, and I do remember now, doing our scrims with them and things like that. And I'm going to totally just backpedal a little bit. I think with that talent that you have on the field, I think they're going to be able to come together and get the win over the Bulldogs. I don't think it'll be a massive margin, such as I predicted in with the other game. But I think we're going to see. I think we're going to see at least a 2. I'm hoping at least a 2 touchdown difference there between from the Warriors taking the win, of course. And if we're doing a bold prediction, I almost want to say that Cal. With everything just now starting off, Cal's had a lot on his plate recently, and this is just a bold prediction. You can stone me later in my lovely office. I think his first couple passes will be interceptions.
Is he going to be the quarterback?
I was just say Cal's not the quarterback.
No, Cal's not quarterbacking.
Oh,
that would be a really bold prediction.
It would be.
Cal to throw picks not being the quarterback.
It would be.
It shows how much I've researched and learned about these.
Clearly, Tom's prediction has now lost all credibility as we move on.
I'm taking your side or your chair right now, Psych.
Thank you.
Getting beat up.
I think this game will be, and like Syke said before, I'm about to make my first enemies, maybe. But you want honesty, that's what this is for. I'm not trying to be up here sugarcoating anything. No reason to. I don't want to be one of those fake people doing that. So I think this will be a blowout. I think the Warriors dominate the Bulldogs on both sides of the field. I think they win by at least 35. That's a bold prediction. I think another one is Gucci runs for at least 200 and 3 touchdowns. He's very good at running. That's what he does the best. He's one of the best runners in this league. I don't think a lot of people know that. I don't think a lot of people understand how good Gucci is at running and avoiding in the pocket. I think the Warriors will honestly dominate the game pretty easily in hand and walk away happy, very happy with the outcome of the game by, like I said, at least 35.
I think it'll be a big win for the Warriors as well. I think Magma is your leading receiver across both teams this game. A bold prediction. Magma will be your leading receiver. Marlo, any thoughts?
As you know, we have come out of our preseason. Our last preseason game was against the Warriors, so I know what it's like to be on the other side of that.
Up.
So yeah, Warriors. I'm gonna have to say Warriors hands down, and I think it's gonna be a complete blowout for that, unfortunately.
Okay, Matt. Go ahead.
Well, that's it. Yeah. Any any other final thoughts about the overall outlook for week 2 before we go down the line and we get ready to cast our votes and we announce who was going to be the player of the week and be the combatant player of the week and get those beautiful cleats that they have made for us. Any other thoughts? Nothing?
I don't have anything.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, where everyone has been waiting for, we will get down to who will be the first ever combatant player of the week. Looking right now, of course, voting has ended. We kept it going up until this point right here. Like I said, the way that it's going to go is all of us have a vote, counts as one, and the fan vote counts as one as well. Looking at the poll right now, the Pit Boss from the Titans has won the fan vote, so he currently has 1. All right, Cam, you have Pit Boss, Staples, Puppet, and Tupac as the nominees for Player of the Week. And who will be yours?
Do you want me to talk about it, or you just want me to make a pick?
You can talk about it a little bit.
All right. Well, I think that it's hard for me to decide. I'm sorry for stumbling on my words there, but I like like the vote for Pitt is I like that because it's against an opponent. Once again, words are hard right now.
You caught the Tom. Boss.
I caught the Tom. It's an opponent that is what most would consider a more difficult one than Staples, who are my 2 finalists there for that vote. But at the same time, Staples was making picks. He was making plays on offense. He was all over the field. I think Staples really, really stood out. So I'm going to go with Staples on that vote. But definitely, Pitt. It's a coin toss. They both deserve it. But I'm going to go with Staples simply because he was all over the field, and he really racked up catches and picks and everything. So Staples is my vote.
Whenever we were calling that game, I picked Staples as the player of that game, and for that simple reason. And it came down as I'm thinking about really the 2 that Cam mentioned. And I'm kind of be reiterating his words here to a certain extent. Pitt leading his team to a victory against a tougher opponent. But just the sheer volume of plays that Staples made, the amount of catches, the amount of interceptions, the amount of touchdowns. If I'm not mistaken, he was the leading receiver. I think Syke led in maybe pick sixes, but Staples led in picks for the overall team that night. So it's just for me, the vote will be Staples. So that's 2 to Staples so far and 1 for Pitt, and we have Tom next.
I'm gonna have to go with Staples. The sheer performance that he came out and did, 7 receptions for 232 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, he was the man getting the ball up the field. interceptions throughout the game. I mean, just overall for me, it was pretty much it was just an easy pick, an easy choice for me on that one.
And Psych.
Yep. I'm happy to be the irrelevant vote and not the tiebreaker.
Well, we saved you to last.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go ahead and take this moment to go ahead and anger my own fan base. Like I told you, I'd angers everybody. Overall, I'm going Pitt. I agree with the fan vote here for the simple reason, and it's nothing against Staples' performance on both sides of the ball. He was clearly the best defender on our team that night. He was clearly the
won it.
No.
I'm just kidding.
I mean,
Like,
y'all get on to me, and then you go back to it. No, if I would have made the catch in the end zone, I would have made my argument, but I didn't, so I didn't contribute on both sides of the ball. But no, the reason I say it is the game with the Titans and Jackets ultimately came down. It was a 7-point game, and there was probably, by my last count, I think 4 drives that he had to complete passes of fourth and gosh, it was over 20, and I believe he converted every one of them. The stats didn't load correctly, so I don't have a true feel for his defensive numbers on the night. But I just feel like under pressure that he was under, and then that game being as tight as it was, that I would have voted for him.
Yeah, and I agree with that. A great overall performance by the Titans to come away to be the first Pulse Game of the Week winners, and congratulations to Staples to be the first combatant player of the week. If you'll contact, I think Cam, and Cam will get those cleats to you. So Panthers, throw your party, whatever it is that you need to do. But as we said, as we wrap up this show, we want to go on a tour. All the way around the league, we want to be on everyone's field, be able to talk to a few people, at least one person from every team. So please contact me, Cam, Tom, Psych. Let one of us know. We're gonna we're gonna pin a post on the Pulse Facebook page to get the put a schedule up, and we just ask you just to comment on there or contact one of us so that we can kind of set this thing up ahead of time. And thank you to Cam for doing the ticker that you see along the bottom of the screen. Good stuff. And I'll thank you to everybody who has been a part of this. Thank you, Tom, Syke, Cam, for being here. Thank you, Marlo, and all the Mustangs who were here with us tonight. We had a great time just sitting around, just talking football and getting ready for what's going to be another great week as the regular season continues. And like we said, tomorrow night at 6 will be the Yellow Jackets against the Dolphins. Saturday at 4, Mustangs against the Eagles. Saturday at 7, Packers against the Patriots. Sunday at 6, Warriors against the Bulldogs. And the Monday game that was going to be the Bills, the Falcons, has been rescheduled for the very last week of the regular season. So, any other thoughts, guys, before we close this baby out, send everybody home? Anything?
Well,
we do have a question.
Question in the
that's
Twitch
right.
chat.
God
We have
dang,
a question from
questions.
L. Greg 55. He says, question, players to watch this weekend?
Start with Syke and we'll
Any specifics? Go ahead,
We'll
Syke.
move
Are we looking for a particular game or
No, just in
No,
general.
just
Just players to
in
watch.
general?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go through a. Let's see. I believe the player to my left is going to be one to watch. I believe also on the other side of the ball, making his first appearance in over a season, I believe Corvin would be one to keep an eye on. Outside of that, I think that you've got to keep an eye on Mr. Cora over there and his performance, because I think that a lot of the Dolphins' success will depend on his throwing the ball. Other games that I'm leaving out, obviously Tupac, because if he's having an off night, I think that spells a lot of trouble for the Patriots. So overall, that's my people that I would watch as the games progress through the weekend.
Tom?
I definitely would agree. Marlo is definitely one to watch. Her first game coming out, with this new team. I'm also going to say, watch out. You're one of the players to watch as well, Greg. So the eyes are going to be on YouTube, my man. I've seen during scrims, been in a couple scrims, and I mean, just the ability to come down with the ball, is you're getting there. It's getting up there, and you're definitely going to be a contender if you're not already. I'm not trying to defame you or anything like that by that word, but definitely that. kind of, I don't want to like, just echo it, but Psych just kind of ran down the list of like, the big players in each team. And I need to learn my teams better with my names better. But I'm just going to call those two players to watch because, Mustang's a new organization, new players to the league. We've all been watching all these other players. Like, definitely, Cam's definitely a person to watch. He's the man with the arm. But, that Dolphin line, watch, that's definitely a good watch. Not biased or anything.
Just shaking my head right now. I think moving on. I think we'll have to keep your eye on the Mustangs. Not just because we're here, but it'll be their first game under the big lights. A lot of players, of course, are going to be missing some with the ineligibility rule in effect in week 1. So it's going to be a lot on I had to put more pressure on you, Marlo. It's going to be a lot on Marlo.
Yeah, no pressure.
In the first week, and I think I think Marlo will be one to keep your eye on. And I say she's going to run the ball for more touchdowns than she's going to pass.
I'm going to run it. I'm going to run it just for you, man.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. And hold it up. Just sign the ball for me. Just put it in the mailbox. Cam?
I have 3. The first one is Marlo being, her first game, rookie quarterback. It's exciting, brand new team. It's very important for her team to be successful. Another one is Gucci. For everybody who doesn't understand how good this guy is at running, watch him. It's a player to watch for sure. And then the third one will be on our team, which is Jinx, who will be having to play O-line for the first time because of Tom's absence. So just watch. I think she'll do just fine, perfectly fine at center, and watch her blocks, and hopefully the protection on my side be pretty straight edge over there.
Going to be crucial as the Yellow Jackets are going to bring some pressure.
They have really good. They have a really good pass rush. They really do. The Yellow Jackets know how to get the quarterbacks.
Off the edge at you. So definitely gonna force our line to be on point and everybody to be. I'm looking forward to it, man. I cannot wait until tomorrow. Do we have any more questions? I wasn't keeping track. Have anything else?
Yep, we got one more question. Yep. Okay. James Hill asked, any known player that will be not that will not be playing with their teams this week?
I would say Tom Box, but nobody cares. No, Tom won't be there. I know he won't. I know Nelly will not be playing for the Dolphins. Dre will not be playing for the Mustangs. Key will not be playing for the Mustangs. I'm not sure about the Eagles. What was the other game? I'm sorry. Warriors and Bulldogs. Zany will not be playing for the Warriors.
That has been
I don't think Diego will be playing for the Bulldogs. Is that all? I think there might be a couple more in there that I'm missing, but those are ones that I know that will not be eligible.
One
this
thing
weekend.
Also, Darian, who's the player representative president, he's done a great job. Let's put together an eligibility report that will let you know every player who will be ineligible for this week. So that is up.
Is that open to the public, or is that just in the?
I don't know. I don't know. I look at all the groups.
Yeah,
it might just be no. But there is an eligibility report that has been done. I'm not sure.
Yes, contact. There should be a players association team rep within your team.
And they'll have it, yeah.
Yeah, contact them and look for them. And one thing now I may have just completely zoned out on, but did we mention for other teams that are interested in hosting us next week and in the future to contact us and go ahead and start booking?
Only about 4 times, like.
Yeah, I think Matt mentioned that there will be a Facebook post explaining more about that. So if you guys aren't already in the Facebook post, go on Facebook, type in the Pulse. It should pop up for you.
I thought we did, but it's one of those things I didn't want to go off the air and be like, "Don't, we didn't do that."
Yeah, I wrote it down. End show and remind teams to contact us to visit their stadiums. Wrote it, have it right here. Were there any other questions? Or
I don't think there was, but there was something that I enjoyed. I smiled. It was we were talking about players to watch. Ice Water Dota 2 said #WatchFlowReffing. I completely agree. Flo will be out there reffing, helping the league out. He does a good job. Shout out to Flo Burner and Rasden for sure.
All day.
Yep, Rasden and Flo. Watch them. Those are 2 non-players to watch this weekend.
So, also, if you'd like to commentate any of the games this upcoming weekend, I think you can sign up on the website. And if for some reason things get kind of messed up on that because it can be kind of iffy at times, just contact Tom, Mr. UFL Media Director himself, and he will see what he can do about getting you involved with that. We're always looking for commentators and refs in the league. We always want a variety of teams, in the booth and on the field to help us, because without you all and without this community and everyone working together, we won't be able um, to move the UFL forward in the great direction that it has been going. But anything else before we close this out?
Just to kind of highlight on what you said.
There's always something else.
Yeah, just to highlight on what you said, Matt. We definitely are needing commentators for this weekend, especially with the double header on Saturday. If you can't sign up on the website, please, if you want to commentate, get with me, and I'll get you scheduled in. If you've not commentated before, I'll probably ask that you kind of sit third seat with us, just so I can kind of check you out, so we can all kind of get a feel for you. But
I want time to check you out.
Yep. But we definitely need more commentators, guys. We have a blast. It is a lot of fun. Yeah, so just get in touch with me for that. And if I'm not online and you see Matt online, get in touch with him as well.
Or Psych or whoever.
Or Psych, yeah.
But
my two assistants.
Finally, is there anything else? Because I know people want to go home.
Well, I have one.
I'm pretty sure we're all home.
Well,
yeah, I'm home now. Like, I'm sitting in my bedroom.
Home for me is right now my bed. It's calling my name.
127.0.0.
So, okay. Anything else? No. Marlo, thank you for being with us, sitting in, giving your take, and allowing us to occupy your field for a little while tonight.
You're most welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. All right, well, I am Matt Asadar, Cameron Cora, Tom Box, Site Troglodyte. This was The Pulse. We don't know where we're going to be at next week. If you want us to be at your stadium, simply let us know, and we will be there. Y'all have a great night. See you tomorrow night. The Yellow Jackets against the Dolphins to kick off Week 2 in the UFL as we head toward the playoffs. Y'all have a good night.
Yep. And shout out to all the
Alrighty,
Mustangs
thanks,
that have been out there watching us on their field tonight. They've been a fun crowd.
Absolutely. You guys have a great night. Thank you for all the Twitch folks that joined in. We peaked 48 people, I believe.
Nice.
So, outstanding.
Have a good night, friends.
Night, y'all.
We appreciate you.
On the field.